In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. Yet in holding scientific research and discovery in respect, as we should, we must also be alert to the equal and opposite danger that public policy could itself become the captive of a scientific, technological elite. It is the task of statesmanship to mold, to balance, and to integrate these and other forces, new and old, within the principles of our democratic system, ever aiming toward the supreme goals of our free society.
In part 2 of the Digital Prison series, I will be talking about the patent from Microsoft. You know, the company started by Billy Goat. In this patent, WO2020060606 from Microsoft uses the same terms like blockchain and cryptocurrency, just like those promoting these concepts. The patent also specifically mentions Bitcoin. Yet, the Texas Blockchain Council is telling people how wonderful Bitcoin is, even though the patent that mentions it specifically has the number 666 in its ID. I listen to many conservative talking head types, and the majority talk about how wonderful Bitcoin is, that it's digital gold. However, they will all be wrong. It's just another trap set for the masses. Bitcoin is a digital currency like any other, as defined in the patent. A CBDC is a term people should become aware of. That is, central bank digital currency. So I will begin by reading the abstract summary of the patent. Then I will summarize some of the sections of the patent. I won't read the whole patent for the video. That would be boring. All right, now for the abstract summary. Human body activity associated with a task provided to a user may be used in a mining process of a cryptocurrency system. A server may provide a task to a device of a user which is communicatively coupled to the server. A sensor communicatively coupled to or comprised in the device of a user may sense body activity of the user. Body activity data may be generated based on the sensed body activity of the user. The cryptocurrency system communicatively coupled to the device of the user may verify if the body activity data satisfies one or more conditions set by the cryptocurrency system and award cryptocurrency to the user whose body activity data is verified. Now I will summarize some of the sections of the patent. Section 001 establishes that virtual currency is also known as digital currency, and that one example of virtual currency is cryptocurrency. So, virtual currency, digital currency, and cryptocurrency are the same thing. That means Bitcoin is a digital currency. This means that Bitcoin can be placed under the control of a CBDC system. Section 2 establishes that blockchain-based cryptocurrencies can be decentralized. However, they can be placed in a centralized system with a central point of control, citing that Bitcoin is an example of blockchain-based cryptocurrency. Later in the patent, though, it describes centralized and decentralized a bit different. So that may mislead people as to what the terms mean. Section 3 states that blockchain is a data structure that stores a list of transactions. These transactions are stored in digital blocks that follow one after the other in a chain. Computers maintain the blockchain and validate each block. The validation process requires computational problem solving, which is also known as mining. This computational process requires lots of energy, as the patent states. This is probably why some of the proponents of blockchain are calling for more nuke plants, or why Yuval Harari used the term Green Manhattan Project. And why is there so much energy used for validation? In Section 5, one solution to the amount of energy used in the mining process is to integrate the human body. A person will become a part of the Internet of Things. Also in this section, it states that human brainwaves or body heat data can be used when a human performs a task by the service provider. The data from the brainwaves, for example, will be picked up by a sensor, and the computational problem solving for the validation process will be done unconsciously by the human. So who is a service provider? What types of tasks will people have to do? How many hoops will people have to jump through? Be a good citizen and obey all the rules. Don't eat too much. Don't have sex. Don't leave a carbon footprint. How will brainwaves be picked up? Is this in part what Elon's brain chip is for? And another question I have. How can body activity create enough energy to compete with a nuke plant? Section 6 is similar to Section 5, but adds that there is hardware involved. It states that the cryptocurrency system is coupled with a device which is tied to your body activity data, meaning a sensor will detect if you've eaten too much meat or protein, for example. And keep in mind that toilets are being manufactured that can analyze what's in your pee. In Section 20, cryptocurrency with encryption techniques will regulate the generation of currency units and verify transfer of funds. Meaning, you can be blocked from getting funds or from buying certain things if you are not a good citizen. Also, awarded or penalized based on your social credit score. Section 23 states a cryptocurrency system may give one or more tasks to a user device. In a decentralized network, a task will be sent by miners or the verification process. In a centralized system, a task will be sent but not as a part of the mining system. For me, this establishes a different meaning for centralized and decentralized. So when these talking heads are saying how wonderful Bitcoin is because it is decentralized and free from the clutches of government, they may be in for a surprise. I went ahead and combined sections 24, 25, and 26. These sections get into communications networks, external communication devices, and types of sensors. A communications network can be internet or telecommunications, meaning 5G. Some of the sensors mentioned are functional magnetic resonance imaging, electroencephalography, infrared spectroscopy, heart rate monitors for lie detecting, thermal sensors, optical sensors, radio frequency sensors, ultrasonic sensors, and cameras. None of this is intrusive whatsoever. In Section 34, this section mentions some of the tasks that can be required. Watching or listening to an advertisement for a certain amount of time. Using certain internet services like search engines, chatbots, email, social media, or uploading information to a website or cloud. A task may be included as a transaction in a blockchain. In Section 35, the CAPTCHA system may be used for the blockchain to distinguish human from computer. Over the years, people have already had to use the CAPTCHA system for verification. Section 36. Other tasks humans will be involved in relates to the body activity data. The body activity that the sensors can pick up are radiation emitted from the human body, brain activities, body fluid flow, organ activity, and body movement. Once again, if your pee shows that you have too much protein in your system, you will be penalized. That's right, the sensors will measure your body fluids, not just your blood, but the other ones. So if you're engaged in unapproved behaviors involving reproductive fluids, you could be penalized. Remember, one of the agenda items is stopping reproduction. You're probably wondering about human body radiation. Here are the listed examples: body heat, pulse rate, brain waves, or even more specifically listed, gamma waves for memory tasks, beta waves for logical thought, you better not think for yourself, alpha waves for subconscious thought, you better just not think. There's also theta waves for emotional thought, you better not get angry when you're told to be a good slave. Also, delta waves for sleep and relaxation. Also included is an electroencephalogram, which measures deep concentration as a brain activity. There are over 100 sections for the patent. The last one I'll cover is Section 46. This section states that a target range for valid body activity can be set so that body activity cannot be faked. This ensures the validation process. That's all I'm going to cover in this video, although there will be more to come in the Digital Prison series. As the dollar collapses, people will be coerced into the digital currency system. This is a global event, and Texas is going right along with it. So much for Texas independence. Blockchain will be one more way to expose how all sides work together. People should stop believing in earthly kings and choose the narrow path.
We now have the power, or at least not we, but some governments and corporations for the first time in history have the power to basically hack human beings. There is a lot of talk about hacking computers, hacking smartphones, hacking bank accounts, but the big story of our era is the ability to hack human beings. And by this I mean that if you have enough data and you have enough computing power, you can understand people better than they understand themselves, and then you can manipulate them in ways which were previously impossible. And in such a situation, the old democratic system stopped functioning. We need to reinvent democracy for this new era in which humans are now hackable animals. You know, the whole idea that humans have, you know, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over.